Chapter 15 of Billie Bradley at Treasure Cove by Janet D. Wheeler. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. The Surprise. In like manner did Laura Jordan and Vi Farrington win over their parents to the idea of the treasure hunt. That part settled, and a very important part it was, they began to make arrangements for immediate departure. However, the girls, girl-like, were eager to do a little shopping before starting for Treasure Cove. The boys, boy-like, could see no profit in shopping when there was adventure to be had. So the latter finally decided to go on ahead of the girls and get things ready for them. "Though what there is to get ready, I'm sure I don't know," said Vi protestingly. "We are going to a hotel." "Boarding house," corrected Laura. "Well, boarding house, then. Anyway, everything will be prepared for us without the boys' help." "We might as well humor them," said Billie amiably, "especially," with a chuckle, "since they can't hope to start anything before we come. We are holding the map, you know." So it was arranged that the boys would go to Treasure Cove a day or two before the girls. Mr. Bradley, who was on speaking terms with the proprietor of the glorified boarding house, which masqueraded as the Treasure Cove Hotel, wrote to secure accommodations for the boys and girls. A reply was received from Mrs. Wellington Opp, the proprietor, in which she regretfully stated that she could accommodate 3 of the young people, but that was all. "You girls had better board with Mrs. Opp, then," Mr. Bradley said, upon receipt of the letter. "She is a pleasant, kindly soul who could be trusted to keep an eye on you and see that you behave yourselves." "But how about the boys?" Billie protested. After more thought and some inquiry on the subject, Mr. Bradley finally found that there was another hostelry of sorts at Treasure Cove. "The Blue Anchor, it's called," he said. "Probably the boys can secure accommodations there." So the boys promptly wrote on to the Blue Anchor, and were told that they could be accommodated with ease. "I hope it isn't far from the Treasure Cove Hotel," commented Laura. "I have a notion that we're going to dream of that dying mutineer quite a bit after we get to Treasure Cove. It might be rather comfortable to have the boys close at hand." "Dad says the Blue Anchor is only a short distance down the beach," Billie assured her. "I guess," she added, with a chuckle, "we shall get as much of the boys' company as we want while we are there." "Maybe more," added Vi. So the boys started, and the girls saw them off with a feeling of regret that they had not hastened their own preparations. "We can be ready by day after tomorrow, anyway," said Billie, "so they won't have much of a start on us." The girls were so busy with their last minutes of packing and with the last-minute calls of their friends, who were frankly envious of the 3 girls' good fortune, that especial day after tomorrow came about before they were aware of it. On that eventful morning, they were accompanied to the station by half the youthful population of North Bend. The girls were rather surprised to see Amanda Peabody and Eliza Dilks on the platform of the station when they arrived. Amanda stood close to them while they waited for the train, and kept up a conversation with her shadow which was clearly audible to everyone in her neighborhood. "I've always wanted to go to Europe," the girls heard her say. "In fact, it has been my lifelong ambition. So now that my rich Aunt Jane has asked me to be her companion, I'm so happy I can scarcely live. It seems too wonderful to be true." "Rats," said Laura in a low voice. "I don't believe she is going any further than upstate New York." However, Amanda continued to discourse in a loud voice about her European trip, till the train came and drowned out the words. In the excitement of parting with their friends, and trying to answer a dozen questions in the same breath, the girls rather lost sight of Amanda. But later, when the train was well under way, they found her in the car next to theirs. A suitcase was tucked under her feet, and she was either reading or pretending to read a magazine. When Billie and her chums passed her, she made no sign that she had seen them, other than a slight elevation of her nose and a supercilious curl of her lip. "We are the dust beneath her feet," giggled Laura, when they had returned to their own car. "I never saw such a girl to give herself airs." "And without a reason in the world," added Vi. "I wonder," said Billie dreamily, after a few minutes of silence, "if she really is going to Europe." "Maybe," said Laura indifferently. "Her people have money enough, I guess." But even if she is going to Europe, we wouldn't exchange our party for hers, would we?" asked Vi. "I should say not," exclaimed Laura and Billie together. "Almost anyone can go to Europe," added Billie, giggling, "but not everyone can hunt a Chinese treasure." "Shh!" Vi warned, looking about her uneasily. "I wouldn't talk about it so loud, Billie, if I were you. You can never tell who might be listening." "Who would be listening?" cried Laura, scornfully. "You've been looking at too many movies lately, Vi Farrington." Billie looked thoughtful. "I don't know but Vi's right at that," she said. "What we are going to do should be kept a secret, especially after we get to Treasure Cove. If we don't keep it a secret, the knowledge we have won't be much good to us," she pointed out. Laura still did not look convinced. "I was going to ask for a look at the map," she said, eyebrows raised, "but I suppose, according to you and Vi, that would be out of the question." "Afraid so," agreed Billie. "We'd better wait till we're in our room at the boarding house, with the door safely closed and locked." "And the window shades drawn," added Vi solemnly. "You give me the creeps," protested Laura, with a shudder. "If you don't stop, I'll be seeing a villain in every innocent man or woman I meet. I'm willing to bet we could have that map spread out in full view of everyone in this train, and no one here would even glance at it." "Probably you are right," said Billie, with a nod, "but I still think it would be foolish to take any unnecessary chances." "Suppose," said Vi, "that someone should find where the treasure was hidden before we had a chance to. What if we should trace out the map successfully and find only a yawning hole?" suggested Billie, with a giggle. "A yawning hole," Vi accepted, "at the end of the search." "Horrors!" cried Laura. "Why suppose such a thing?" "All right." Meeting Vi's solemn and Billie's mischievous eyes fixed upon her, "I'll be good. I shan't ask for even one glimpse of the paper, you know what I mean, until we get to Treasure Cove. And about our precious secret, I'll be as silent as the tomb. How's that?" "Excellent," replied Billie, "if you only keep to your good resolution. There's one thing that's worrying me, though," she added pensively. "Ben Halcombe slipped away so suddenly from the hall that I don't believe any of us got his address. Did you, Vi, or you, Laura?" Each in turn shook her head. "We never thought of it," they admitted. "We must get word to him in some way," Billie went on, "and we don't want to ask too many questions, or we may make people suspicious." "We'll find him," Laura prophesied. "From his story, it seems to me he must live near this place where we are going to stay." "Poor old fellow," said Laura, and began to laugh. "What are you laughing at now?" Billie and Vi wanted to know. "I was thinking," Laura explained, "what a joke it will be on Miss Pauline Halcombe if we find the treasure." The girls were forced to change trains at New York City. They were a little confused at first, but finally, by dint of persistent questioning, found their way to the Long Island Railway Station. There they found a guard who seemed to understand where they wanted to go, and finally put them on the right train. On this, they found they must change at Jamaica, and all but missed making connections at this point. When they finally neared their destination, they were hot and weary, disgruntled, and a little homesick. "Wonder if the boys will be here to meet us," said Laura, as she reached for their hats and suitcases. "Probably not," Vi answered. "We wired ahead what time we would leave North Bend, but it seems to me we've been a dreadfully long time getting here. Probably the boys have gotten tired and gone home." "If I know anything about these three boys, they'd wait here all day if they had to, rather than miss us," said Billie, with spirit. "And I don't think we're so late getting here, after all." "Where's my umbrella?" cried Vi, searching frantically under her seat. "Here it is," said Billie, coming to the rescue. "It has been sticking into my leg all the way." "What's the matter, Laura? You look as if you'd found some money." "The boys!" cried Laura. Billie peered from the window as the train slid up to the long platform. "And there's someone with them! Girls, I believe it's Ben Halcombe himself." End of chapter 15.